That's Mon Frère, My Brother, by Manu Charlemagne, the Haitian folk singer, former mayor of Port-au-Prince. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. The campaign of Republican presidential hopeful Herman Cain took another hit Monday when a fourth woman emerged to accuse him of sexual harassment in the 90s. Sharon Bialik is the first of Cain's accusers to publicly identify herself, following three others who remain anonymous. At a news conference, Bialik said Cain groped her and tried to force her to commit a sexual act. She was a former employee of Cain's when he headed the National Restaurant Association, says the incident took place when she came to him seeking help finding another job. Cain's campaign has issued a blanket denial that he committed any harassment, but has declined to specifically address Bialik's claims. The allegations of sexual harassment aren't the only controversy surrounding Cain. Also Monday, the Center for Media and Democracy, a Wisconsin-based watchdog group, filed a complaint asking the Internal Revenue Service to investigate whether a top aide has used tens of thousands of dollars from a tax-exempt nonprofit to fund Cain's political activities. Citing leaked financial records, the Center for Media and Democracy says Cain's campaign manager, Mark Bloch, used at least $40,000 from his group Prosperity USA to pay for Cain's private jets, air travel, computers when he's exploring a presidential bid. Bloch founded Prosperity USA just last year. The Center for Media and Democracy is asking the IRS to investigate the group's tax-exempt status as well as any other ways Bloch may have been funneling money to political campaigns. The leaked records cited in the complaint also suggest extensive financial ties between Bloch's Prosperity USA, the Cain campaign, and the right-wing advocacy group founded by the billionaire David Koch, Americans for Prosperity. Bloch stepped down from heading the Wisconsin arm of Americans for Prosperity to run Cain's campaign. Lisa Graves is with us now, Executive Director, Center for Media Democracy, which filed the IRS complaint. Welcome to Democracy Now! Explain further.
Sure. We filed a complaint yesterday to ask the IRS to take a closer look at Mark Bloch and his activities. What we've seen in Wisconsin is that he's created a number of nonprofit groups, almost all of which share the Prosperity name: Prosperity USA, Americans for Prosperity Network, Prosperity 101, Wisconsin Center for Economic Prosperity. You name it, he's basically branded it. And we know from the documents that were leaked last week that Prosperity USA did provide money to provide jets for the Cain campaign. We also know from those documents that it also fronted money for the Americans for Prosperity tour that Mr. Cain took earlier this year.
I want to remind people who Mark Bloch is. The latest campaign ad for presidential hopeful Herman Cain that went viral in part because the ad ends up with an odd clip of his chief of staff, Mark Bloch, taking a drag on a cigarette, then blowing smoke into the camera.
We've run a campaign like nobody's ever seen, but then America's never seen a candidate like Herman Cain. We need you to get involved because together we can do this. We can take this country back.
Up until January, Mark Bloch served as the Wisconsin Director of Americans for Prosperity, the Koch brothers-funded organization. The ad surprised some since Herman Cain is a cancer survivor. In 2006, he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, which had spread to his liver. Lisa Graves.
That's right. I mean, the ad was surprising. It was also surprising that they would feature Mark Bloch. Mark Bloch is someone who has a notorious history in Wisconsin. He was subject to one of the stiffest sanctions ever in Wisconsin history as a result of a previous election in which there were allegations that there was undue coordination between a nonprofit group and an election for the Wisconsin Supreme Court. He was barred from politics in Wisconsin for 3 years, and he paid a $15,000 fine to settle those allegations. He next emerged as the leader of David Koch's Americans for Prosperity in Wisconsin, and now these allegations come forward.
What was it that Herman Cain said? Just so I can clarify this for the media, this may be a breaking news announcement for the media. I am the Koch brothers' brother from another mother.
That's right. He said that at the convention this past weekend that Americans for Prosperity had in Washington, D.C., and there's no doubt that the ties between David Koch Mr. Cain and Mr. Block run deep. Mr. Block appears to have created a number of organizations that help promote the visibility of Mr. Cain, including Prosperity 101, which we believe is a for-profit organization that promotes Mr. Cain speaking to businesses around the country, including during the election in Wisconsin last year at a number of businesses in key locations in the state leading up to the elections.
Lisa, you talk about unusual financial payments for Cain's campaign.
That's right. There are certainly the unusual and what we believe to be the barred payments for Herman Cain's campaign that are evidenced in the documents, but there are also other unusual payments in those records, including payments to the woman who wrote the song that is the theme song for the Herman Cain campaign. Those payments, at least some of them, came out of the nonprofit charity group Prosperity USA. Can
you talk about a database that the Koch brothers have funded?
Well, I believe that through American Prosperity, the Koch brothers have launched a new effort to basically unite in a database a number of these right-wing grassroots activists that they are pursuing to basically affect the election this coming year. We do know that Koch Industries PAC also has formulated a website that helps basically indoctrinate potential voters coming into this next election.
Now, people may be listening to this, watching this, and thinking, I mean, this is just all about money and politics. It's corrupting everything. What makes this different, Lisa?
Well, I think in this instance, particularly with respect to Mr. Block, what you have is someone who's the head of a campaign, who's also the head of the PAC for that campaign, who's also the head of a charity, and is the head or at least the founder of a number of charities. And so you have this confluence around Mr. Block. With respect to David Koch and the Koch brothers' enterprises, what you see is that Bob Dylan's statement that money doesn't talk, it screams, is true. They're having a tremendous impact influencing the primary process within the Republican Party.
And so what does it mean for you to call for the IRS to investigate, and has the IRS responded?
We've had no response from the IRS yet, but we do believe that it's important to raise this to the IRS because there is a bar within the tax code on charities using non-tax-free donations to fund a political campaign. Those charitable donations should not be used like a bank or a credit card for a political campaign, and that's what it looks like happened here. So we hope the IRS will investigate, and we hope they'll help take a closer look at the thin veil, the porous veil between Mark Block's various enterprises.
Lisa Graves, I want to thank you for being with us, Executive Director of the Center for Media and Democracy, and we will link to your report at our website, democracynow.org. A happy birthday to Karen Krug Meadows. Democracy Now! Is produced by Mike Burke, Renee Feltz, Aaron Mate, Nermeen Sheikh, Steve Martinez, Sam Alkoff, Hani Massoud, Robbie Karen, Ryan Devereaux, Dina Guzder, Manal Khan, Mike DeFilippo, Miguel Noguera, our engineers. Special thanks to Becca Staley, Julie Crosby, Nick Gilla, Hugh Grant, Jessel Noor, Jessica Lee, Vesta Godars, John Randolph, Karen Krug Meadows, Rockham Penny, Kellon Innocent. And I also want to let you know about speaking tour this weekend. I'll be at National Harbor next to Washington, D.C. on Saturday, heading to the Green Fest on Sunday in San Francisco. Next week out in Stony Brook, Long Island. You can check our website at democracynow.org. You can get our transcripts and websites at democracynow.org, as well as our video and audio podcasts. Thanks for joining.